Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a fabulous day. If you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe to this channel, please do so. If you can, ring that notification bell. That way when I drop a video, you'll be notified. I know you guys thought I forgot how to do that, huh? Well, I'm back, y'all. For those of you that have been rocking with me for a while, I appreciate you. Those of you that have been checking up on me, I appreciate you. But I want to get into what is really important in this whole situation right now that we got going on. When I first started this YouTube channel, please remember I just got out of my bankruptcy. I was 2017, I filed a bankruptcy. When I made that first video, what I was talking about was there is not going to be a better chance for me to show you guys how to build credit than right now, because this is going to be the lowest my credit score is going to be. I believe my credit score at that time was like a 524, and I made a video just showing you a snapshot of my credit report. I'm going to put it at the end of this video. And I wanted to show you guys that it's possible to build your credit even if you have derogatories on your credit report. So I made a snapshot at day 1 after my discharge of my Chapter 7. And then I made another snapshot of my credit report 30 days after. And then I believe it was 60 or 90 days after. And I think you could see the increases in my credit score. See, the important thing to why I did all this is because a lot of times people think that because they have a derogatory on their credit report or they have a collection of some sort or a late pay, they don't believe they can get to the 700s. And I wanted to start this channel to debunk all those ideas that people had, or those myths that people had about building credit. So I started building this channel up, and to my amazement, I'm really amazed that people found it that I was that entertaining to watch me as long as they've been watching me. And I've been showing you guys my journey, keeping track, showing you, hey, look, you know, I got this credit card, that credit card. One time somebody asked me, hey, if I put a credit card in a Chapter 7, can I apply for that credit card again? And I made a video showing that, you know, I went through a Chapter 7. One of the credit cards that I put in my bankruptcy was Capital One. I ended up applying. I got another Capital One. And, so I debunked the myth that if you burned a company, put a credit card in a bankruptcy, that you can still apply for that credit card. You know, it's going to take a couple of years after, but you can still get that credit card. Probably not a Chase, probably not American Express, but you can still apply for credit cards that you put in your bankruptcy. And I wanted to show you guys this journey that I went on. And as I started going, I started looking into different avenues to help people. And so what I did was I started a credit repair business to help people. Now, this is when it gets interesting, because as I started helping people, I believe that when you reach a certain level of success in life, and it wasn't through credit or my YouTube channel, it was just through my trucking. I was doing really well, still doing well, and I wanted to help people. That's just the nature that I have. Is, if I get to a level 2, people on level 1, I'm gonna bring them up. If I get to level 3, people on level 2, I'm gonna bring them up. And that's always been my philosophy in life, is always look back, bring those that can come with you. And so what I did was I started a credit repair company. I started helping people, and as I'm going, I'm starting to see more and more YouTubers talking about credit. I'm starting to see, these companies that are coming up, starting to talk about credit. They're having trade lines, and hey, if you got this trade line, that trade line, come with us, give us, a couple $100, we'll put a trade line on your credit report. I'm starting to see more and more credit repair companies coming out, and it just got really murky. And right as all this was happening, right, I started dealing with the clients that I had, and one thing that I noticed, that the expectations that I was putting out, letting people know, hey, look, this is not an overnight process. No matter how much I said it, every time I would sign a new client up, they would join, stay with me for a couple of months, and then what they would do was say, hey, I haven't seen any results. I want my money back. And I would try and reimburse them what I felt was fair, and we would have, and it just became this mess of, I felt like I wasn't helping people any longer. I was more, I don't know. I don't want to say I was in the way of their progress, but what it wasn't happening was my vision that I had of helping people come along with me. And so what I did was I worked with the clients. I stopped marketing my credit repair services, and the clients that I had, I started working their credit reports, they stayed working on their credit reports until they got themselves into a position that I felt that they no longer need to pay for my services. This is good enough. Yeah, we might be able to delete, one or two more items off your credit report, but that may take 5-6 months, so that's another $500-600. It's not worth it. And so once my clients got to that position, I just stopped working on credit reports, and I just, I stopped my business, and I wasn't going to take on any more clients. And once that happened, I started focusing on my trucking and still listening, paying attention to the market, what's going on, the credit repair industry, what's going on. And it just got murkier and murkier. And I wanted to do YouTube channels, YouTube videos, but what I noticed was it just didn't feel the same. It didn't have the same feeling that it once did. I felt like when I started, and maybe it's my ignorance, when I first started this channel, I didn't see a lot of people in the space of credit. I didn't see a lot of people. I seen a lot of people in the business credit space, but not in the personal credit space. And so when I started the channel, I wanted to help as many people, and I was talking to people about trade lines, and then all of a sudden, MyJewelers stopped reporting, and New Coast Direct stopped reporting. And those two items right there really makes me sad, because I know without a shadow of a doubt the reason why those companies stopped reporting is because all these new companies that started getting in the space and taking advantage of people, it started bringing a light on the credit space. Companies started seeing that people are artificially and boosting their credit score by using these two companies that has been working for years. Some people in the credit repair space looked at it as a shortcut. Some people didn't. I was one of those that felt like, no, it wasn't a shortcut. It was a way to help people establish credit. Just like if you were to go out and get a secure credit card. It's not a shortcut. What you're doing is you're showing them that you have experience with your credit or building credit. You're actually purchasing something and paying it off. You're not just getting a trade line for nothing. Like New Coast Direct and MyJewelers, you actually had to purchase something. A lot of these other companies, when they were coming into the space, you didn't even have to purchase anything. You just gave them money and they put, a $5,000 trade line on your credit report. There's a difference between the two. And that's what the main thing is. No matter what it is, as long as you get something for credit and you pay it back, and you show that you have the ability to pay, and you show that you have the discipline to pay it every month, then that's a credit line. And there is a difference from a company that just comes out and say, hey, send us $500 and we'll put a $5,000 trade line on your credit report, and actually going through the process of buying something and then paying for it over time, and them putting a trade line on your credit report. And that's the way I looked at it. And if you feel differently, that's okay. If you feel like it was a shortcut, great. But I know that MyJewelers, New Coast Direct, those two accounts helped a lot of people. It helped them get established so that they can go on and start establishing credit. Now, when those two companies went away, and there was a couple of companies that kind of murkied the water, dirtied the waters of credit, that's when I was just like, I had my enough. It wasn't worth it for me to keep making videos, and the situation wasn't getting better. All I seen it was getting worse. And then you have situations where people are getting these really popular YouTube channels by just talking about credit cards, new trade lines they can put on their credit report, stuff like that. And that kind of goes against what I'm here for as well, because it's like, if you feel that success in the credit space is by the amount of credit cards that you have, or by the amount of credit available to you, then that's almost opposite of what I believe. Alright? It's not about having 60 or 70 credit cards. It's about being responsible with credit. That's what this channel has always been about and always will be about. It's about being able to go into a financial institution, dictating terms, and walking out with whatever it is that you're looking for without being taken advantage of, right? And that's what this channel has always been about. You know, we'll go to an auto dealership, they'll run our credit through 30 different organizations, and they will not even give you the best interest rate. They will give you the interest rate that makes them the most money. A lot of times when you go into an auto dealer, you don't know, but the loan that you get from the auto dealer is not the cheapest loan for you. What it is that's the loan that they can sell you on, that they can make the most money on. They're not going to always give you the best loan that you get qualified for. You're just happy to be qualified. And these type of things is what I wanted to put a stop to. That when you walked into a dealership, that you already had your financing available through your credit union, and now you're just trying to pick your vehicle. Chances are your credit union is going to be a lower interest rate than any auto dealer that you can get approved for. And these are the strategies that I was trying to teach you and show you that you need to take control of your credit. Now, there was a lot of people who came out and their channel was all about getting new credit cards. And I'm not knocking it. In no way, shape, or form do I want you guys to think that I'm taking their channels and making it negative or jealous or what have you. It's not about that. What I was afraid of is that there's a lot of people that aren't being true to themselves. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to put myself out there. A lot of times you hear people talking about reward points on credit cards. When I filed my bankruptcy 2017, I had credit cards, but I was never using my credit cards for reward points prior to my bankruptcy. So now I'm in a position to where I'm able to get reward credit cards, and I started trying to, I'm listening to these other credit card YouTube channels, and they're using reward points and using terms like trifecta and all these different terms. And I started using these credit cards. I had one credit card that was good for restaurants. I had another credit card that was good for hotels and flight. I had another credit card that was good for, like if you're going to purchase items at stores. And so I was trying to use all these different credit cards to max out my reward points. But being true to myself, I'm not good at that. That's not my thing. I'm going to put myself in a bad position trying to use all these credit cards, because I'm going to forget that there's a payment on one of these credit cards that I have to make. And I'm going to be 30 days late. That's being true to myself. It's not worth getting 100 reward points a month for the chance of being late on a bill. To go back to what I was saying is, I felt like the danger of everybody going out, getting as many credit cards and racking up as much available credit as they can get is the fact that a lot of us isn't disciplined, or not disciplined enough to go out and get $70,000 to $80,000 worth available credit, because now that means shopping spree to a lot of us. And you might not be honest with yourself right now, but the reality of it is to a lot of people, $80,000 available credit means shopping spree. And I didn't feel like enough discipline and training was expressed in these videos. It was all about credit, 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 credit. Get as much as you can. And I just seen, okay, that's going to be a situation. That's a situation that's going to come down. I left. I just let it be alone, and whatever happens, happens. But as I get emails and, I'm starting to see what's going on and talking to people again, people are calling me up and I'm having these conversations with people, I'm starting to see we're back at square one, where there's not enough discipline and the theory of what responsibility is in the credit game. You have people that are taking advantage of people through credit repair. You have people taking advantage as far as the viewership, meaning I'm going to give you information that I know is detrimental to you, but because I get your watch hours, you watching my video, I'm going to give you this just to entertain you, keep you entertained, knowing that this possibly could be a hazard for you and not let you know the full details of what it is. I've never started this YouTube channel for the money. Don't get me wrong, I like the check that I get from YouTube. It's not much. But this never will be a means of taking care of me. I do very well with my truck. And it's important for you guys to understand that if you guys are going to be in this credit space, you have to be disciplined enough and knowledgeable enough to know what your weaknesses are. If you have a weakness of spending, then definitely one thing you do not want to do is go out and get as much credit as you can, because when it's time to go on that nice vacation, you know what you're going to do. You're going to put that on that credit card. Come on, baby, let's go on a vacation. Let's go to, to the Philippines or what have you, wherever you want to go, and y'all gone. You're going to come back with a $5,000 racked up credit card, and in the market that we're in right now, you're going to be in this situation trying to understand what happened? How did we get here? You know how many people I talk to on a daily basis that tell me, I don't, because I'll see they got a $15,000 worth of credit cards, and I'm like, well, what did you spend the money on? And they'll all tell me the same thing. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't have anything to show for this $15,000. I didn't invest it in anything. I don't have anything tangible. I just know that I got $15,000 worth of credit card debt. And I've talked to so many people that I know that this is the makeup and this is the discipline that people have. Their discipline is the ability to wake up and be irresponsible. I know it sounds terrible, it sounds mean, but being true to yourself is most important. And one thing that I know that I've always tried to do on this channel is try to express to you how important it is for you to be disciplined. Right now, the markets aren't looking too great. Everything is looking meek to me. What you want to do is you want to make sure you have six months worth of savings in the bank. And what I mean by that is, let's say you lose your job. Do you have enough money to sustain yourself for 6 months? Everybody's number is going to be different. For me to sit here and say, oh, you need to have $10,000 in the bank, to some, yeah, that might work, but to others, no. And if you don't, you have to work on getting to that position. You have to work on getting your base, your foundation together. Because I'm seeing way too many people walking around, and it's so scary to me right now. They're walking around with credit card debt. And I'm wondering to myself, how could you possibly having credit card debt from month to month, knowing we're going into a situation that it's not looking good. All right, we have 5 negative months in a row of GDP, and we're going into a bear market. If you look at the Nasdaq's in the bear market. If you look at the S&P, I think it's down 16%. I think bear market is when it hits 20%. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit 20%. So we're in a bear market. We had a negative quarter last quarter. A recession is 2 negative quarters. Pretty sure next quarter is going to be negative. So we're going into a recession. We're in the middle of a recession, and people are carrying credit card debt month to month because they still got a job. I know without a shadow of a doubt the reason why we're raising interest rates is because the government is looking at strong employment. That's why they're raising interest rates. So what they want to see is people lose their jobs. Are you going to be one of those people? That's my question. And everybody's walking around here like, oh, I'm good because I got my job. I got a paycheck, and I'm going to go blow my whole paycheck. And I'm going to make my minimum payments on my credit cards, and I'm good because I got my job. And if you're thinking that way, it's just a dangerous way to look at life. Those of you that think, well, I'm good because I got credit cards. Quick story. I had and it was a Sparks card, which is a business Capital One card. I had I think it was, I can't remember. I think it was 15,000 credit limit on that credit card. Let's say I was using that as my reserve just in case anything happened, right? Because I'm a trucker. Turbos go out, that's 5,000. Radiator, God forbid, an engine overhaul. But a lot of times we use credit and we say that's our reserve in a trucking game. Well, just to let you know, that credit card was decreased from 15,000 to 3,000. Now, if I really had a situation that required 9,000, I'm SOL. Now what do I do? And so the moral of the point is, don't use your credit cards as your reserve right now. A lot of times you guys probably heard me talk about it's okay in the past, but that's when things were looking like that. That's a good time to do that. This time, right now, I would not be using my credit cards as any type of reserve or counting on my credit cards to be any type of reserve, because if the financial markets crash, there's a really good chance that those credit limits are going to be pulled. And if that happens to you, I don't want you to lose your job and you lose your reserve. So just right now, it's just time to be financially responsible all around. These are the things that this channel was supposed to be about. It's not just about going out here getting credit card, or it's not just about going out here increasing your FICO scores and that's it. It's all around being financially responsible. And so often I hear people give bad advice on credit. I hear people talking about don't pay your collections because it's going to reset the date of last activity. I hear so many, or don't pay your collections because it's going to reset how long it's going to be on your credit report. I hear these things and it upsets me, because that lets me know you should not be giving advice if these are the things that you're saying. When I watch people's YouTube videos and they're giving this advice, I go, is it worth it? Is the money from YouTube worth it for you to give that bad advice to mess up somebody's financial household, to give bad advice so you can collect $100 check? It makes me question everything about YouTube. I'm going to keep making videos, keep trying to encourage you guys to do the right thing. Keep trying to press that, yeah, it's okay to get credit, but understand that if you're not disciplined, then get the credit that's going to go the furthest. Those large institutions, those Capital Ones, those, if you could get a Wells Fargo card, Citibank card, something like that, it's going to go a lot further than going out getting a Progressive or American Bank or something like that, a Credit One. Those cards are good if you're starting out and you can't qualify for anything else. But right now what you want to do is you just want to make sure that you're maximizing every step of the way. Meaning if you're getting credit, you're getting the right credit. If you're paying off your credit, you're paying off the right credit. Meaning if I have a choice between paying off a revolving line of credit or an installment loan, I'm going to pay that revolving line of credit. If I have a choice of putting money away or going out spending money on a new handbag, I'm going to put money away. These are the things that I want us to focus on in 2022 because, like I said, I'm a little bit afraid of what's going on. I hope everyone has a blessed day. I'm not going to run this video too long. Everybody knows I'm long-winded. I'm back. Hopefully, y'all sticking with me. Y'all going to rock with me through 2022. We're going to get through this together. All right? I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.